Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this, this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In the previous video we looked at MMTLP and the focus was on 10 actions that you can do to continue the fight. In today's video we're also going to be looking at new developments in terms of questions for Finra and also some new positive developments, so stay tuned for that. Before we make a start, let's have a quick look at what's happening in the market. So quick headline here. We can see here that US markets did rally a little bit today. The Dow Jones was up at time of editing approximately 300 points, and in Europe also closed higher. And from China we're seeing a bullish sentiment, especially as the COVID restrictions are easing. So if we just finish off here by having a quick look at the heat map also at time of editing, we can see technology is up nicely, Amazon is up, Tesla is having a good day, especially having come down quite significantly. Healthcare is not done too well today. Energy sector is a little bit mixed, but overall a fairly neutral day for the market. Let's start by having a quick reminder of some important questions posed to Finra from John Berder. This was shared earlier today, and what John has stated here is he's emailed Finra again. Obviously we have the email address there of the person nominated, and the questions here we're just going to look at. So this is something that I'm assuming John has not got a reply, and that is why he's obviously reminding them. But let's have a quick reminder of some of these questions for Finra, which we are as of yet waiting for a reply. So who was involved in the decision making to halt using the U3 code? Again, answer unknown. Were any broker dealers, DTC, AST, market makers or other member firms consulted prior to the decision? That would obviously be something that would be compromising, and we would like to know. Was DTCC consulted specifically? Again, very, very important for that we also get an answer to that. What was the determination based on internal records, including CNS and NSCC leading pools? So Finra are the ones that do have the data. We don't have the data. So did they use any data, any internal records? And was that something that led to this decision? How did you arrive at that determination? How many shares were moved by broker and dealers into the obligation warehouse? Again, important question. What triggered the extraordinary event? And again, Finra have not stated what this extraordinary event is. It's a very, very subjective term. We would like it to be a little bit more specific. Have you any communication with OCC and why they allowed short shares not to be settled at merger of Torch and MMAT? So this is something that has been ongoing since 2021. How do you hold a short share in a private company? This is something that should not be allowed. The SEC would certainly prohibit that, and that is a situation that we are currently facing. So definitely needs an investigation there. And number 10, why are the short positions not settled? So that is a rule also by the SEC. Short positions should have settled. Obviously, it's an important part of trading. It's a risk they take, and it must happen. And we've also seen examples of shorting continuing after the halts. So number 11 here, are you aware that Next Bridge shares are still being lent out to shorts? And obviously we've seen people sharing statements with interest on there as well. What happens to the 9.5 million shares shorted on 9th of December and the 41 days of failed to delivers on the threshold list? How could these shares have possibly covered? So huge number of questions, not a single answer as of yet. Number 13, do you have accurate accounting of all 105 broker dealers who had shares on record with the DTCC showing their long and short positions, including naked? Do you have all broker to broker clearing records? Do you have all of the sell tickets for the 105 broker dealers dating back 5 years on Torch, TRCH, MMAT and MMTLP trades from all member firms? Well, certainly they will do, but are they going to share them? That's another question. 16, how did MMTLP begin to trade without issuer knowledge and with fraudulent information posted to OTC markets? So the evidence is very, very clear. The company have come out, including George Palikaros, and saying we did not give permission for this to trade. Who filed the 15C211 form? Who approved it? Huge questions and allegations of fraud. This is in the public interest to deal with this, and this is also potentially a criminal matter. And then number 17, Next Bridge is it's now being forced to reconcile outstanding share positions. Where are the existing shorts from the private company? How can we reconcile that situation as well? And the final question at the bottom, is Finra or the DTCC also going to do a corporate action to force the shorts to cover? If not, please explain how this is not detrimental to Next Bridge Hydrocarbons and its corporate governance. So a great set of questions. And in all honesty, I do not expect Finra to respond to a single one of these questions, and that is because they would be compromised. So next shout out is to Gorga Swimmer, who's shared a letter here from the United States Senate. So let's have a quick look at the summary of this response from a Senate member. So this is great news in terms of the Senate getting awareness of this. So we're going to see now, is there any substance in this reply, or is it just a basic bog standard reply? So the person from the Senate has stated, thank you for contacting me with regard to your opposition to Finra. And hearing from you helps me better represent Georgia. So obviously this person is from Georgia, and he's also stated here is Finra, under the guidance of the SEC, serves a vital role in overseeing US broker dealers and ensuring markets are fair. So yes, that is what's supposed to happen, but that certainly is not what did happen. On October the 9th, Finra announced the halt. We know that halt came through the U3. And what he stated in the paragraph near the bottom, as a member of the Senate Committee on Banking, Housing and Urban Affairs. So this person certainly seems to be in an important area here on the Senate, which oversees the SEC. So that is exactly what we want. I will continue to provide robust oversight of our financial regulators and independent agencies under their purview, including Finra. Please let me know. Please know I understand the importance of maintaining fair and efficient markets. I really hope you do, and that is not a generic statement, because if you understand the importance of fair and efficient markets, you will understand that the shorts need to close their positions. That is if you do understand. Especially a market volatility has become more present in our financial system, and I will closely monitor any decisions made by relevant agents to uphold this mission. So I hope this is not a BS reply. I hope there is some substance in this response, because there are many law-abiding tax-paying citizens who have invested their hard-earned dollars into this, and you as a member of the Senate need to take this very seriously. The next thing I want to focus on is the question of immunity. So if you remember in the previous video, we looked at Finra's response and their claims that they have immunity, and they have absolute immunity, and therefore they kind of are a law unto themselves. So what I've done here is give a shout out here to Graham 200-908-741 for carrying out some excellent research, and he has dug up some case history. So let's have a look at this case history. So he's found something called an objectiveness test. This was applied in a case, obviously this case is unrelated to the current case, but in this particular case in court, NASDAQ was also claiming to be entitled to absolute immunity. So one thing I'd like everyone to remember is that the power in the case, especially with Rosa, is not with Finra, the power is with the judge. So again, the judge is a representative of the court. So in this particular case, when NASDAQ was saying, we have absolute immunity, the court upheld the district court's decision refusing to grant immunity to NASDAQ. And the final update I'd like to share with you is with regard to some important contacts we've made today. So special thanks to one of the members of the Discord who's reached out to a very prominent journalist. This journalist was involved in bringing down Bernard Madoff, and this journalist is currently right now at time of editing being made aware of the situation with regard to MMTLP. So the journalist has expressed an interest in listening to the story, so stay tuned for developments. So the journalist has been sent information, so I'm hoping to get John Burder involved as well, so stay tuned, and hopefully if we do get some coverage on this particular situation, then this could be something that brings down the house of cards, fingers crossed, and gets us all justice. And finally, I'd like to finish off by giving a shout out to our weekly watch list. This is something that's shared exclusively with the Discord members prior to trading on the Monday. So what we called out this week included stocks such as AER. I think that time of editing this was up 1.5%. We also called out MGAM, that was up 3.3%. ZOM, that was up 6.1%. AEHR, that was a great call, up 18% today approximately. ALGS, that was up 1.5%. CDTX, that was up 14.2% today, so great call there. KRT, I think that was up close to 2%, and we also called out CMRA, that was one of the best calls as well, up close to 25%. There were a few calls that didn't go too well, but not all calls are successful. If you would like to get a copy of the daily stock alerts released prior to trading each day, as well as the weekly watch list, you can certainly join us. Details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.